Ladies and gentlemen, for the launch of Cybersec, we have a very special message this year, because the central thought and motto of the conference is very, very dear and important to us. There's no better person to share with us information about the importance of partnerships that cyber resilience brings us. Of course, that person is the Assistant Secretary General for Emerging Security Challenges, Mr. David van Weel. Can we please have the Secretary General's video?
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, I'm delighted to be here with you today. This event is not only a key fixture in the annual cyber calendar, it also takes place in the very region where Russia has decided to take a wrecking ball to European peace and security with its war in Ukraine. I would like to commend and thank Poland for its steadfast support to Ukraine and contributions to the alliance, including on cyber. This year's leitmotif of the conference Partnerships for Cyber Resilience combines two crucial cyber lessons learned from Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. The vital importance of resilience as a new baseline for effective cyber defense, and the need to foster more effective partnerships between states and the private sector. We will be well advised to apply both lessons learned fast. Why? Because as the war continues, Russia and its proxies will develop a higher risk appetite as their fortunes on the battlefield change. And with that, the potential for spillover increases. At the same time, China seeks to create a global new normal of responsible state behavior in cyberspace, which favors restrictions over fundamental freedoms. Allow me to address each of these lessons learned and how NATO is addressing both. Resilience, as part of a proactive approach to cyber defense, is already clear. Russia has made ample use of cyber capabilities before invading Ukraine, during hostilities, and will likely continue using them after the kinetic phase of the war. In other words, cyberspace is contested at all times, and not just during crisis and conflict. We are faced with long-term strategic competition where actors have become skilled at operating below the threshold of armed conflict to advance their strategic interest. And this constant friction makes it impossible to prevent all malicious cyber activities. Instead, a key focus at the technical level must be on increasing the resilience of our networks and infrastructure, to withstand shock and to recover quickly. We need to proactively hunt for potential threats and vulnerabilities in our networks, understand and better manage risk, and leverage new and emerging technologies. Resilience must become our new cyber defense baseline. However, being cyber resilient on its own will not deter malicious cyber actors. Investments in cyber resilience need to be combined with a proactive cyber defense posture that expands beyond the technical level. We need initiative persistence to shape cyberspace in line with our values at the political level. And we need to pose strategic dilemmas for adversaries in cyberspace at the military level. At the political level, our focus should be on better enforcing the norms of responsible state behavior that were endorsed by all UN member states. Norms only become effective through consistent practice by states. In other words, deeds speak louder than words. We need to move beyond naming and shaming threat actors in response to isolated cyber incidents and be clear what norms are being broken. But we also have to consider all civil-military response options in our democratic toolbox. We need to apply those tools consistently over time and take into account cumulative impact of seemingly isolated cyber incidents. This in turn will shape state behavior and national legislation and boost our ability to deter and defend against malicious cyber actors. Moving to the military level, we need to strengthen the role of our military cyber defenders during peacetime. And this is important because in most national contexts, the military only gets involved during crisis and conflict. However, cyberspace is never fully at peace. There is constant friction. And we must prevent scenarios where we expect our militaries to perform magic handovers, to take over without having been in the room in the lead-up. Instead, we need to enable civil-military cooperation throughout peacetime, crisis and conflict, and in between the stages. What's more, continuous civil-military cooperation must also include the private sector. In Ukraine, the private sector has provided early warning, analytical support, satellite communications, as well as migration of data to the cloud. This ensured continuous essential government functions, banking systems, transport and military data exchange. And we've seen a new level of engagement and partnership between public and private sectors to advance international peace and security. We need to build on this and more systematically leverage industry capabilities as part of our longer-term approach to tackling persistent malicious cyber activities and campaigns. Such partnerships need to build on the understanding that cyberspace is a strategic domain, and our actions to enhance cyber defense are part of the race for tech sovereignty. In fact, what we call cyber and what we call tech are two sides of the same coin. It's about strategic competition. And both require us to significantly ramp up our engagement with the private sector. Emerging and disruptive technologies present us with opportunities, but also pose risks. AI and quantum will likely have a major impact, in particular with regards to cyber defense. A fully operable quantum computer will soon be able to decrypt all currently existing encryption systems that secure our digital communications. And this will greatly impact on our military communication and financial transactions, and would no longer render privacy or authenticity in the internet. A particular concern is that our strategic competitors, such as China, are making considerable investments and progress in AI and quantum, with less consideration for international norms and human rights concerns. If we are unable to keep peace, the democratic and transatlantic community will become to depend on cyber autocrats for those essential technologies. So what is NATO doing? Allies have recognized and are applying the cyber lessons learned from the war in Ukraine. We are adjusting our cyber posture to this permanently contested environment. At the Vilnius summit, allies will endorse a new concept for cyber's contribution to deterrence and defense. A key focus of the concept is to facilitate civilian-military joint efforts at all times, during peacetime, crisis, and conflict. Another cornerstone of the concept is the integration of industry expertise and capabilities to better protect our networks, operate in cyberspace, and shape it in line with our values. Apart from the concept, allies will also raise the bar for national cyber resilience. They will agree to new and more ambitious national cyber defense goals and minimum requirements as part of the revamped Cyber Defense Pledge. And this will go in parallel with a new virtual capability that will facilitate assistance between allies if national response capabilities are overstretched during crisis. As part of maintaining the alliance's technological edge, allies have developed the Defense Innovation Accelerator for the North Atlantic, or in short DIANA, and the NATO Innovation Fund. Both of these initiatives will be operational by the Vilnius Summit. DIANA and the fund focus on better collaboration with tech startups and innovators across the alliance, and the goal is to leverage cutting-edge tech and deep tech for our defense and deterrence. Both initiatives also aim to propel innovations that protect us against tech-infused cyber attacks. For instance, with investments in quantum solutions in order to protect our networks and systems. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin's war in Ukraine has shattered peace in Europe. It's a game changer. NATO allies have imposed unprecedented sanctions on Putin's war machine. And these massive sanctions remind us of one of the most important lessons from this conflict, that we should never trade long-term security needs for short-term economic interest. The war in Ukraine demonstrates how economic relations with authoritarian regimes can create vulnerabilities. Over-reliance on the import of key commodities like energy, risks created by exporting advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, and weakened resilience caused by foreign control over critical infrastructure like 5G. Let me be clear here by saying that the game is not lost, but we need to meet this reality, enhance our resilience, and proactively pose strategic dilemmas for those who seek to undermine us. If we stick together, I believe we can outperform our strategic competitors. For this to happen, we need to engage with each other better. If cyber is always on, then our partnerships should always be on, between allies, across the civilian-military spectrum, and between public actors and industry. NATO offers and will continue being a platform for this. Thank you very much.